My dear students, welcome to CMI's online classes. In this video, in this class, for the students of Standard 8, we will continue with Chapter 8 of our English grammar, that is, clauses. In our previous video, on the same chapter, we have already understood what are clauses with examples, and I have also discussed about the kinds of clauses, and we also understood how to differentiate clauses from phrases and how to differentiate clauses from sentences. So, as we discussed about the kinds of clauses in our previous video, today we will continue the same topic, that is the kinds of clauses, but with more detail. That means we are going to understand each kind of clause with its definition and examples. Okay, students. So let us start our discussion and explanation about the kinds of clauses. So here we have the types of clauses. See, clauses are of three kinds. Clauses are of three kinds. So as I've already told you that clauses are the parts of sentences. Okay. That means if we divide clauses into if we divide sentences into two parts that carry both subject and predicate, then we can divide those sentences into clauses. Okay, so here clauses are of three kinds. Number one, principal clause. Number two, subordinate clause. And number three, we have coordinate clause. See, now what is principal clause? A principal clause, also known as or also called a main clause or an independent clause, has a finite verb with a subject and conveys complete meaning. See, if you see the same example that we have given in the first video, in the previous video of the same chapter, if you see here, like we have one sentence which is divided into two parts. That is, an unlucky man almost lost a 17th century painting worth 1 crore of rupees when he left it in the lounge of the Indira Gandhi International Airport. If you see, if you combine these two sentences into one sentence, and if you read these two parts of the sentences separately, this first part is independent in itself. It does not need the second part to give a complete meaning. So if the part of the sentence that carries subject and predicate and convey, subject and verb and convey the complete meaning, then that is the principal clause or independent clause. Principal clause को हम मेन क्लॉज या तो इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज भी कहते हैं, जो अपने आप में क्या होता है, एक मीनिंगफुल सेंटेंस होता है जिसे दूसरा पार्ट ऑफ सेंटेंस का सहारा नहीं पड़ता है एक मीनिंगफुल सेंस देने के लिए. ओके, सो द पार्ट ऑफ द सेंटेंस दैट कैरीज बोथ सब्जेक्ट एंड वर्ब and convey a complete and meaningful sense, that is the principal clause. Okay, like this part, an unlucky man almost lost a 17th century painting worth 1 crore of rupees. This is what? This is the principal clause or the main clause or the independent clause. Independent means that which is not dependent upon others. Okay, but if you see here, subordinate clause. A subordinate clause called a dependent clause has a finite verb with a subject but does not convey complete sense or on its own. It can thus never be a sentence in itself and makes sense only when it is subordinated to an appropriate principal clause. Now see here. Now we will take the same example here. If you read the second part of the sentence, when he left it in the lounge of the Indira Gandhi International Airport. If you read this part of the sentence, this part of the sentence also carries subject and verb, but it does not convey a meaningful sense until it is subordinated or combined with the another part of the sentence, that means another principal clause. That means, like when he left it in the lounge of the Indira Gandhi International Airport. If this part of the sentence is combined with the first part of the sentence, that is, an unlucky man almost lost a 17th century पेंटिंग वर्थ अ करोड़ ऑफ रुपीज, जब तक हम ये पहला सेंटेंस का पहला भाग के साथ ये सेंटेंस का दूसरा भाग को नहीं जोड़ेंगे तो ये सेंटेंस का दूसरा भाग हमें मीनिंगफुल सेंस नहीं देंगे. ओके, जबकि वी हैव both subject and verb in this second part of the sentence also. So, the part of the sentence that carries subject and predicate but does not give a meaningful sense, इसीलिए ये सबऑर्डिनेट क्लॉज जो होता है वो अपने आप में मीनिंगफुल सेंटेंस नहीं होता है, जबकि प्रिंसिपल क्लॉज क्या होता है, अपने आप में एक मीनिंगफुल सेंटेंस होता है, बिकॉज द प्रिंसिपल क्लॉज गिव्स अस अ कंप्लीट मीनिंग and it does not depend upon the another part of the sentence to give a meaningful sense. But when we come to the subordinating clause, subordinating clause depends upon the principal clause to give a meaningful sense. Okay, I hope you have understood subordinate clause also. Subordinate clause part of the sentence है जिसमें हमें subject भी मिलेगा, verb भी मिलेगा, लेकिन वो meaningful sense नहीं देता है. But we can divide that part of the sentence into subject into predicate because it carries both subject and verb. Okay. Like if you see, I like ghazals. If you read this part of the sentence only, it gives a meaningful sense. Okay. So it is independent clause. Okay. Independent clause or the principal clause or the main clause. Main clause is the complete and meaningful sentence. Okay, but if you see, which are sung by Jagjit Singh, if you read this part of the sentence only, which are sung by Jagjit Singh, this part of the sentence does not give us any meaningful sense until it is combined with or subordinated with the principal clause, like I like ghazals which are sung by Jagjit Singh. So this part of the sentence, it depends upon the principal clause to give meaningful sense. Okay, so the part of the sentence that carries both subject and verb but does not give us any meaningful sense, and it depends upon the principal clause to give a meaningful sense, but that part of the sentence can be separated or divided into subject and predicate, that is subordinate clause. Understood? Subordinate clause, like the independent clause I like ghazals can exist on its own. ये जो I like ghazals है ये अपने आप में मीनिंगफुल है, जबकि ये विच आर सॉन्ग बाय जगजीत सिंह ये अपने आप में मीनिंगफुल सेंस नहीं देता है जब तक इसे हम ये जो इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉज है उसके साथ हम जोड़ते नहीं है. सो डिपेंडेंट क्लॉजेस आर डिपेंडेंट ऑन इंडिपेंडेंट क्लॉजेस टू गिव मीनिंगफुल सेंसेस, टू गिव मीनिंगफुल सेंस. ओके, सो आई होप यू हैव अंडरस्टूड सबऑर्डिनेट क्लॉज ऑल्सो. प्रिंसिपल क्लॉज क्या है? पार्ट ऑफ द सेंटेंस है that also carries that finite verbs. You know, finite verbs are those verbs that change their forms according to the change of number of subject and tenses in sentences. Okay, so principal clause carries main verb, that means finite verbs and subject, and in itself a principal clause is very meaningful. It conveys a meaningful message. Okay, but when we come to this subordinate clause also carries subject and finite verbs, subject and main verbs, but the subordinate clauses do not give us meaningful sense because they are dependent clauses. They depend upon independent clauses to give meaningful sense. Okay, now come to the another type of clause, that is coordinate clause. So now coordinate clause, if we divide a sentence into two parts, okay, if the sentence is combined with the combination of two sentences, एक ही sentence में हम दो सेंटेंसेस को जोड़कर एक सेंटेंस बनाए हैं, एंड इफ वी आर सेपरेटिंग दैट सेंटेंस इनटू टू पार्ट्स, so that sentence can be divided into two parts. Okay, and if you read both part of the sentence, and if that each part of the sentence gives a meaningful sense, in that case these clauses are called coordinating clauses. Coordinating clauses क्या है? अगर सेंटेंस बना हुआ है by joining two sentences, अगर दो sentences, both a part of the sentences are meaningful, then अब नाउ अगर डिवाइड हुआ है तो ईच पार्ट ऑफ द सेंटेंस को हम क्लॉज कहेंगे. अगर ईच पार्ट ऑफ द सेंटेंस मीनिंगफुल है अपने आप में, दो पार्ट है, दैट मीन्स टू सेंटेंसेस आर देयर, एंड इफ ईच सेंटेंस बाय विच वी हैव कंबाइंड एंड मेड अ न्यू सेंटेंस, अगर हर एक पार्ट क्या है, मीनिंगफुल है अपने आप में, तो उसे हम हर एक पार्ट को हम क्या कहेंगे, कोऑर्डिनेटिंग क्लॉज कहेंगे. एंड द कोऑर्डिनेटिंग क्लॉजेस आर जॉइंड और कंबाइंड टुगेदर बाय कोऑर्डिनेटिंग कंजंक्शंस. तो कोऑर्डिनेटिंग क्लॉजेस जो दो मीनिंगफुल सेंटेंसेस हो उसे जोड़कर अगर हम एक सेंटेंस बनाते हैं तो उस समय हमें कोऑर्डिनेटिंग कंजंक्शंस का प्रयोग करना पड़ेगा, यूज करना पड़ेगा. सो कोऑर्डिनेटिंग कंजंक्शंस आर ऑल्सो नोन बाय द नेम फैन बॉयज. सो व्हाट आर द कोऑर्डिनेटिंग कंजंक्शंस? कोऑर्डिनेटिंग कंजंक्शंस क्या क्या है, उसे हम फैन बॉयज के नाम से भी जानते हैं, जिसमें F स्टैंड्स फॉर, A stands for and, N stands for nor, B stands for but, and O stands for or, Y stands for yet, and S stands for so. So these for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so, these conjunctions, these 7 conjunctions are the coordinating conjunctions that combine two meaningful sentences to give a completely meaningful sense. Okay, so coordinate clauses are those clauses which are meaningful in themselves. Though they are the parts of the sentences, both the parts are meaningful. Let us see some examples. Now let us see this example. My car had a puncture, so I reached office late. If you see this, if you divide this sentence into two parts, that my car had a puncture. Okay, I reached office late. So these two parts of this sentence is combined with the conjunction by the conjunction so. And when we read these two parts of this one sentence, single sentence individually, like my car had a puncture, okay, this part of the sentence gives us a meaningful sense. It is independent. Okay, if you read I reached office late, so this part of the sentence is also meaningful in itself. So both the parts of the sentences are independent, and these two independent parts of the sentence, these two independent sentences which are meaningful in themselves, are joined together to make one sentence. Okay, so this kind of meaningful sentences are joined with coordinating conjunction. So is one of the coordinating conjunction, that is coordinating conjunctions that I have already told you are also known by the name fanboys. Okay, so you need to understand it. Okay, see, both these clauses can stand alone, that is they are independent clauses in their own right, जो अपने आप में क्या है, मीनिंगफुल सेंस देता है, लेकिन फिर भी हम उसे जोड़कर क्या किए हैं, एक सेंटेंस बनाए हैं. तो दे आर, each of them is called independent clause, or each of them are called, that's coordinating clause. Understood? Now based upon their function, now see here, now subordinating clause, because subordinating clauses are meaningful in themselves. Okay, कोई भी subordinating clause हो तो सेंटेंस को हम दो भाग में बांट रहे हैं, तो एक भाग भी, both of the parts are giving us meaningful sense, then they are called subordinate clauses. Okay, so subordinating clauses are also divided into 3 types. Subordinating clauses 3 types का है, एक है noun clause, adjective clause और adverb clause. Now see here, Many people do not understand what Shakespeare wrote. So what many people do not understand what Shakespeare wrote. So here the highlighted portion is clearly a subordinate clause. Subordinate clause. If you read this part of the sentence only, what Shakespeare wrote, you may not understand it clearly. But we understand something. But if you divide this part of the sentence into subject and predicate, it can be divided. Okay, like subject we have Shakespeare, and predicate as we know that verbs are the main part of the predicate. So in the form of verb we have wrote here. Okay. So here, see, what we do not understand, what Shakespeare wrote. So if the part of the clause is the answer of when you say what, then it is a subordinating, that is noun clause, because nouns are the mostly the examples of what, who, whose, whom. Okay. Now see here. See here. Most people do not understand the main man who wrote under the name Shakespeare. Okay. So if you read, the highlighted portion is again clearly a subordinate clause. This is also subordinate clause. Who wrote under the name Shakespeare? Who wrote under the name Shakespeare? Okay. So if you read this part also can be divided into subject and predicate. Okay. But what is the difference here? Here, with the subject who and a finite verb wrote, moreover it performs the functions of an adjective. So this part of the sentence mostly that clarifies that work as the adjective. So this is adjective clause. Okay. Now see here. Now, because see, we have to understand each types of subordinating clause, how they function. Like noun, they function as a noun. Adjective, they function adjective clauses. They function as adjectives, and adverb clauses, they function as adverbs. Okay. Like here, most people do not understand Shakespeare's works, even they are taught to appreciate them. Taught to what? Appreciate them. So here, this part also is a subordinating clause, because we can divide it into subject and predicate, though they do not give us meaningful sense. Okay. Understood? Subordinate clause. Now see, with subject and the finite verb are, moreover it performs the function of an adverb. So see here, functions of adverb. Okay. Like, because it modifies the verb understand, because it tells us about the verb understand even after they are taught to appreciate them. So now you need to complete this exercise A, in which you have to mark the clauses as the main clause, subordinate clause, or coordinate clause. Okay. So you have to write MC for main clause. Okay. Read the sentence first, and you need to MC for main clause if the sentences are meaningful in itself, in singularly. Okay. Subordinate clause. Okay. You need to underline, mark the clauses, underline, and you need to write here. Like, Priya had a nice basket full of fruits which I like most. Now see here, Priya had a, now see, nice basket full of fruits. This part of the, we can divide this sentence into two parts. This and which I like most. So which I like most is subordinating clauses. So this is SC. Now this is Priya had a nice basket full of fruits. This is principal clause or main clause, MC. So in the same way, if the sentences are combined with two meaningful sentences, they are coordinating clause. Okay. So thank you so much, students. I hope you have understood the kinds of clauses also. If you have not understood till yet, then kindly raise your questions during the class period. But for today's class, I want to stop here. Thank you so much for being the part of my today's class. Thank you so much.